So we found a little bit of a gap here. Because she's moving in zigzags and calling, we're just trying to get a space where we can move the vehicle easily and still see her. So you can see, I mean, look how well she camouflages inside of here. The only reason that Davi and I found her is because she started calling. And she was in some thick bush. Now, I keep willpowering her to head down towards Twin Dams, where hopefully she can hear. Yeah, here she comes. Amazing. We've got another vehicle that's going to be possibly joining us. Ludmila, you're asking, do female leopards ever saw like male leopards for territorial reasons? Ludmila, that is 150% correct. They do. Leopards are very territorial, both the male and the female. Alright, she's going to head back, so we're also going to move backwards. Yeah, the audio, everyone, is so good. So we're having a little mixture of me talking and also being quiet just so we can hear her. And we are going to keep doing that sort of back and forth, because this is a really interesting sighting behavior-wise, but it's also just an interesting sighting, sorry, Jigga, to listen to as well. Oh, my goodness gracious. I don't know what is going on today, but there's something in the air, that's for sure. Sorry for the back of my head. I just want to see if we can make a nice little swing through here. Where are you going to go, my friend? Let me just pull a little bit more forward. Davi, let me know. All right. Let's try here for now. Do you want me to go a little bit back?
Should be all right.
Okay. Sorry, I still have my photographer brain on, so when there's like a piece of grass in front of the leopard's face, I'm like, no! Oh, it's beautiful. Shelley, really good question. You'd like to know, oh, listen. You'd like to know how far can her call carry? Lionesses or a male lion contact call can go up to 4 kilometers in the right weather conditions. Female leopards will be about 1 kilometer, if a little bit less. She doesn't want to draw too much attention to the fact that she's looking for her cub, to be honest. Okay, for any of you that might be a little bit heartbroken right now, I want you to have faith because she will find her cub. 99.9 times out of 10, they or out of 100, let's say, they do find. She is going to smell around. It might just take her a little bit longer. So for some of us, it might be a little bit hard to watch. For some of us, this is also just extremely interesting, but I don't want anyone to worry. We're gonna do some good stuff here. Ellie, you'd like to know, can a leopard child, understand the mom's call from another leopard? 100%. It's just like humans. I know my mom's voice anywhere, or anyone that you're close to, you know their voice anywhere. It's the same. Their voices all have different pitches. Actually, the woman that I was helping out doing leopard research with many years ago, she found, sort of by accident, at the end of the territorial calls between the male and the female, those sawing noises that I can't repeat very well, at the end there's like a little up or down, or it's like a fingerprint, and it's unique to every single leopard, audio wise. So definitely. Oh, sorry, I have to duck down a little bit. She will figure out soon, hopefully, that there's a little bit of scent marking, scratching her feet. Now, another aspect to this that we haven't touched on yet is that remember that her cub is at an age where she's trying to, listen. She's trying to not assert her independence, but she's got more of a personality and is feeling more comfortable with herself. And so she will do things like sometimes wander off a little bit, and then mom will be a little bit more frantic like she is now. Basically, this is the equivalent of you're on your street corner and your mother's calling you, and finally you start getting that piercing whistle. My mom used to do the 2 fingers in the mouth, that really high-pitched whistle that you could hear for miles and miles around. That's what's starting to happen here. She's like, come home! It's enough now! I've been calling you all afternoon. It's dinner time! Now she's grumbling to herself a little bit, like, ugh, my stupid child. Why won't she hear me? She's not listening. Beautiful scenes coming in. So she's coming around behind the side here, and we're gonna let her do that. It actually looks like she hasn't eaten in a while. We might get lucky. She might hunt today. Dee Dee, you want to know how come Shadow is not bothered by us at all and us driving around and where we're positioned and all that? She's used to us, Dee Dee. We're part of her natural environment, and as long as we respect her space bubble and she respects ours, we work in conjunction with each other. So she sees us the way she would see like a huge giraffe or a damn wall. Like she knows, listen. She's getting angry now. She's like, child, I've been calling you for a while. So she's happy for us to be here, and she'll let us know if we do something that's not okay with her, and vice versa. They're not tame animals, they're wild animals, but we've worked for a very long time, for generation after generation after generation, to be able to have them see us as part of their natural environment. I think for anyone that hasn't been part of that type of work, it's really difficult to understand, because we know that we're not the best mammals, and so it's hard for us to understand that. Eloise, you want to know, do leopards mourn? And this is actually a really interesting question. I just want to see what she does before we reposition. Eloise, I used to work with a female leopard north from here many years ago. This would have been about 9 or 10 years ago. And she was very similar to Karula. She was super, super relaxed. Her name was actually Ishongili, so similar to Karula's offspring, Hassana's sister. And she had a set of cubs, 3 cubs, 2 of which were killed by lions. And one morning, my dear, dear friend found her out on game drive, and she was walking with a cub in her mouth and then putting it down and then walking and then calling it, similar to those low calls we heard, and the cub wasn't moving. And then she was doing that. She did that for maybe an hour or 2. Basically what had happened is the lions had killed this last cub, and she was so, what we could tell from the sighting, she was desperately trying to sort of see that it wasn't dead, like she wanted it to still be alive. So yes, I do think there's a bit of mourning in there. The next day, you know, she carried on and went about her life, and she was in a bit of bad mood for a while, but I don't think that it was forgotten quickly, but I don't think it was mourned, say, as long as we would mourn. But I do think that there's definitely some attachment there, for sure. All right. So Tristan's still looking for Tumba. He was very disappointed I didn't find Tumba.